Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday night and after a little bit of a Christmas break, I'm back. I hope you had a great holiday. I hope the weather was okay where you are. We kind of dug ourselves out after a winter storm last week, kind of the week before Christmas leading up to Christmas. It just caused chaos with travel. Yeah, anyway, so it was a very quiet Christmas around our house just because of that travel chaos. So hopefully we will celebrate Christmas with my family closer to the end of January. All right, so I'm here with a sketch challenge tonight. I hope you enjoy it. Lots of ways you can use this. I'm going to use some of the new designer series paper. I think it's called Dandy Designs. I looked at it before I went live and now it's gone out of my mind. I'm pretty sure it's called Dandy Designs, and it's one of the celebration items that you can get for free starting January 5th. Pack of 48 12 by 12, great designs, really pretty, and it's free with a $120 purchase, $120 purchase in Canada. So let's get started. And actually, I'm using two celebration items tonight. So I'm going to use the Adorable Owls, which is a stamp set you can get for free with a $60 order. And then I've just got a couple of the pieces, little pieces of the designer series paper in this package. So really pretty. This one's got Highland Heather and Mango Melody and Pale Papaya. And then this one's Pale Papaya. So that's the back side. So really pretty and great uses for it. So here's the sketch. Like I said, there's lots of ways you can use this sketch. Hey, Nancy. So I'm going to use designer series paper, but you can use, for example, you could use embossed cardstock. I'm going to use for the layer number 2. So my card base actually is 4 1/4 by 11, but you can use 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Layer 1 is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and that's what I'm using DSP for. Layer 2, kind of this bigger piece, is 2 inches by 4 1/2. I could use designer series paper for that as well. I'm using Highland Heather cardstock. And then layer 3 is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And again, I'm using DSP, but you could use cardstock. And then about a 2-inch circle. You could use a bigger circle if you wanted to, but I'm actually going to stamp my owl, color him, and then cut him out and put him over top of this circle. So the sketch will go live on Facebook and Instagram at about 7 o'clock tonight. Okay, like I said, I'm using the Adorable Owls. This is so cute. I'm using this one here with a bow tie on it. It's a cling mount stamp set. Okay, let's get my hand going here. Okay, so here's mine. This is going to be a bright and cheerful card. Getting my paper trimmer in place. So I've got my card base. Again, this is Mango Melody. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're just going to score it at 5 1/2. And we'll fold into the mountain with a raised line. Just give it a good burnish with your bone folder. Okay. So then I've got this piece of, this is the polka dots in of this designer series paper. And we'll just adhere this down. Like I said, you could use embossed cardstock. You could create your own designer series paper. Okay, there we go. And then I've got these two pieces. So this was layer number 2 and then layer number 3. I've just turned over that piece of designer series paper to use the other side. There we go. So just kind of get that on like that. I'm putting it a little closer to this left edge just because I want to actually, I'm going to do that before I adhere this on I've got the stamp set, the little stamp that says "Hoot Hoot, you're so cute," and I'm gonna do. I'm gonna emboss it. Hey, Lynette, welcome. So I'm gonna emboss. I probably should have done that before I adhered. So hopefully this will go okay. I'm gonna use my embossing buddy, and I'm just gonna take and stamp this, and hopefully we get it fairly straight. I'm just gonna. That looks pretty straight. So we're just going to stamp this down here in this bottom left-hand corner. And then I've got some black embossing powder. Oh, not too bad. Again, probably should have, oh dear, done this before I adhered this on. Note to self. All right, I'm just going to flick this. Not too bad. Let's use the brush. It's like I hadn't stamped for a while. Feels like I really took a bit of a break here. All right, so let's get our heat tool here and just hold it on until it starts to, you'll see it turn. I don't know if you will, but I can. Until it starts to hold it in one place until it starts to melt, and then you can start moving it across the image. Doesn't take too long. I think that's, there we are. Yep. Okay. So now I can take and adhere this on to the card base. You could use dimensionals if you want. I'm just going to adhere it flat, and then I'll use dimensionals on that circle. There we go. I like mixing patterns. Okay. I'll lay that flat. The heat has kind of warped it just a little bit. Okay, let's put the lid on that before I spill that all over the place. Okay, so I've got my piece. This is the, I think it's the second largest circle from the Stylish Shapes circles. It's definitely not the largest one because I looked at that. Largest one is about 2.5 inches in diameter. So this one is about 2 inches in diameter. If you want to stamp on this, you could do that. I just decided I was going to put this on here and then pop up the owl. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use Versamark and heat emboss this owl, and then I will take and color him. So I'm going to do him in black as well. There we go. A little easier when you've got a bigger image and it's not on your finished product, finished card base. So we will just heat this until it's melted. There we go. That's got it all. All right, I'm just going to let this cool for a minute. And then I pulled out some Stampin' blends. So I pulled out my Smoky Slate, Highland Heather, the pumpkin pie, dark pumpkin pie, and then crumb cake. Just there we go. Let it cool for a minute. So I'm going to start with my smoky slate. And I'm just going to color kind of the body parts of the owl. You could just color it if you want. I'm going to do a little bit of blending. There's not a lot of room to do much blending on here, but a little bit is good. The embossed lines kind of help keep you in within the line. So if you struggle with that, it just kind of helps. Okay, and let's do this too, like that. And then we'll take the dark. I'm just going to do a little bit around his ear. We'll go back in and blend this. Had to get my husband up here doing some die cutting for me. I'm finding the die cutting is what bothers my wrist the most, so he's been helping me out, which has been great. Not sure he's having much fun with it, but he's doing a great job. All right, there we go. Let's get Ollie colored. Now this body part I'm going to do in the light Highland Heather, just to make him look like he's got a bit of a waistcoat on. Brighten him up a little bit. And then we'll do the bow tie in the dark Highland Heather. Okay. Now his feet we'll do, I don't know if an owl's feet are this kind of orange, but we'll do the beak and the feet in the dark pumpkin pie. All right, let's do this. I have a hard time putting these lids on, so there we go. All right, and then the eyes, I thought I would do, I'm not sure what color eyes are for an owl, but we're just going to do kind of that part of the eye in the dark crumb cake. We're going to leave the big part of his eye in white. Okay, so I'm going to just take and fussy cut this. There isn't a die for this, so we'll just take and fussy cut around. I'm not going right up against the edge. I'm just kind of leaving just a little sliver of white, steering with my left hand, the hand that, for whichever hand doesn't have the scissors in it for you. Okay. All right. These owls are so cute. I think this is going to be a popular item for celebration. Hey, Carol. Oh, what happened to my arm? I fell and broke my wrist. Just a small fracture. Oh, I don't know, the Friday before Christmas. Actually 2 weeks ago, this coming Friday, I was hanging on to a friend's dog, and the dog decided to go and greet the FedEx driver with my friend's paper pumpkin subscription box. And yeah, so Boomer went to greet the FedEx driver and I went with him. And unfortunately, I went down on my wrist. And so I didn't realize it was fractured. I kind of worked all day. I was quilting, and so I worked all day and then went to emergency. that night. All right, I'm just going to take a bit of this. This is the metallic woven ribbon. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of it, fold back and forth kind of on itself 3 times. This is the Orchid Oasis, and I've said this before. I love the fact that these woven metallics go with so many different colors. So they kind of go with all sorts of things. They're not a perfect match to the in color, and that's just fine for me because it goes with so many things. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Stampin' Seal and just put that on there, and then we'll put the little owl on. And then these are the iridescent pastel gems. These are one of the new embellishments, and I love these because they go with so many different colors. I think this is Calypso Coral and like Balmy Blue Pool Party, and then kind of a pinky iridescent, but they are perfect to go with all sorts of things because they're not really a solid color, but so they go so nicely. All right, now I've got a piece of, this is basic white and 4 inches by 5 1/4 for the inside. So I am just going to take and stamp in Tuxedo Black Memento. And I'm just going to stamp the owl on the inside, just so there's something on the inside of my card, because I don't like to have a plain card on the inside. Yeah, I mean, this is a hard splint. It's not a cast. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I can take it off when it bothers me and rewrap it. It actually feels pretty good. It doesn't really hurt until I overuse it, which is why I ended up getting my husband to help with the die cutting that I needed to. I have some kits to get out in the mail and coming up some make and takes for the launch party. So if you are not part of the launch party on January 21st, so if you live in Canada and you are either on my team, you're one of my customers, or you don't have a demonstrator in Canada, you're welcome to join. The link to my Facebook page is underneath this, or Facebook group as well, is underneath this video. And so if you'd like to join us on the 21st, we go from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That day with all sorts of demos and prizes and things going on. So that's our launch party. So if you want to be part of that, you're more than welcome to join us. All right, I'm just going to go back to this. All right, there we go. So kind of cute. And this paper is so amazing. So again, $120 order. You can get this Dandy Designs Designer Series paper, 48 sheets of 12 by 12, which is such a great deal. And so many different uses and colors, and yeah, so really pretty. All right, there is my card. So a little bit of heat embossing, a little bit of coloring, and I think a sketch that's really usable. So hopefully you enjoy it. Again, it will go live if you missed any of the measurements. Oops, just trying to pull my sketch and I tore the paper. So the sketch will go live on Facebook and Instagram in about 10 minutes time. So if you missed anything, and if you can't find it, just message me and I will find it. Now, thanks, Kathy. I think I'm live on Thursday night. I can't remember. I was going to take a break. I know I took a break over Christmas, but I think I'm back live on Thursday night with a technique. I won't be live on Saturday and Sunday, with it being New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And then if you've typically joined me for my Stampin' Chat, which is just a time to get together on Zoom and do some crafting together on Saturday nights, I won't be doing that on Saturday night since it's New Year's Eve. So I'll be back live on Thursday with a technique, and then we'll be back live again next Tuesday night with a sketch, and then we're back on track, kind of back to regularly scheduled broadcasts. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I hope you're doing well, and we'll see you on Thursday night. Happy stamping. Bye.